All right. Hello, everyone. And today we are with Rudra Guho. Rudra is from IGIDR. And Rudra, you've done one semester at IGIDR?
Yeah. Just got done with my first.
Just got done with the first semester. Okay. So IGIDR, the strengths being definitely the small batch size, its relation to RBI. So for you, how has it been in your first year? Has it been very grinding? Has the first year, it's been very different from what usually is in your graduation? And, in terms of how tough are things at IGIDR, especially I'm asking this because of CUET, people from a lot of backgrounds, want to pursue, can now think of actually entering an institution like IGIDR. Earlier, which was not possible for some people because of the entrance exams and the interviews, the barrier was high. Now, in terms of barrier, it is low. Of course, you have to score high, but it's not that difficult an exam now. So for a lot of people, it has become more accessible going to in the IGID or DSC. At least theoretically, it's more accessible now. So in that sense, I want to understand that how difficult it is, and especially for mathematics, like what level of mathematical skill would you say a person should develop before they come to IGIDR so that they can survive in an environment that IGIDR provides?
So the first part you're asking is what level of mathematical skill a person should. Like I think that the thing that you really need to focus on is like problem solving approach. Like even like for the entrance, it's like like in a lot of exams here, what happens is that when you see the question, that will probably be the first time that you're seeing the question. Like you will not have seen the same question before. So you need to be able to think of the answer you need to look at the question and think about how to approach it.
Correct. That answer
So
should come
that
to you
is
fairly quickly. You cannot take a lot of time to think about it.
no, like that's the thing. Like there is enough time to think about it, but it will be something that you won't have done before. So if you're like trying to rely on like rote memorization or just remembering the steps of every answer that you've seen before, then it might not work. Like you basically need to be ready to go to an exam and try to think of an answer rather than prepare so well that you're prepared for everything.
This is for the IGIDR exams within IGIDR or for the
Yeah, this is for the
within
exams
IGIDR?
within IGIDR. This is once
Okay,
you're
okay, of course. Okay. Correct. So the exams are pretty application based, is it there?
yeah, so it depends. Also, it depends a lot on the courses. So, like like your math course in first semester that we had real analysis and we had a little bit of linear algebra. So, linear algebra is obviously a more application based. But
Correct.
something like real analysis is a little more abstract. Like you have to think of
Yeah.
proofs and all.
Yeah.
So, but something like econometrics is almost always application.
Yes.
So it depends on the subject also. But I mean, all the questions in most of the subjects, they usually try to focus on, problem, like how you approach the problem.
Hmm. Okay.
It's on
That
that.
sounds good. What kind of subjects did you have in Sem 1? Yeah.
Yeah. So we had, so first Sem 1 is the same for everyone. We do have electives, but that starts from second year. So in Sem 1, we have econometrics, we have microeconomics, macroeconomics, and math.
So diving straight into econometrics from Sem 1 only. That is, I have not heard that anywhere else. Everybody kind of takes in micro, macro math in Sem 1, and econometrics comes a little in either Sem 2 or Sem 3. So
Yeah, we start with econometrics. We kind of like here it's basically we have a brush up course that happens for the first 2 weeks before the semester officially starts. There
okay.
are 2 weeks of like a refresher course where they go over like just basic stats like distributions and anything that you'll need for econometrics one. And in that 2 weeks they try to cover as much as possible, and then we just go straight into
Because I was going to
native
answer
form.
that not everybody, that from what level do they start in econometrics? Because not everybody may have studied econometrics in their graduation. So from what level do they start in econometrics? Like, do you need any prerequisites, or those 2 weeks of brush up courses are enough? Or, do you need to know a little bit about econometrics and they pick up from there, or they start right from the beginning?
Okay, so the thing is that okay, firstly, so in general, IGIDR are a pretty diverse batch in the sense that we used to have a lot of engineers and all. But this year, I think because of the CUET PG, we actually don't have that much diversity in our batch. I think there's
Okay.
only 2 to 3 engineers
Okay.
and maybe one person from a BBA background. Otherwise, we are pretty much everyone has economics undergrad. So in terms of people who have never had experience with econometrics, there's
That's not
honestly very few
happening.
people like that. But also the 2 weeks refresher courses, like it's good to refresh. Maybe it's not, if it's the first time you're doing it, it can be a little overwhelming. But then again, that's where the small batch size comes into play. So if a student has a doubts, they can, they can ask TAs because they all live around you. Like, your TA probably lives in the flat next to you. You can just ask them, are you free? Go, they'll help you out. So
Okay,
that way, the small batch size is helping you.
correct,
So it is manageable.
correct. And coming to this, so the small batch size, so you are a batch of 30 people?
No, a batch of around 39 people.
39 of you. Okay. So 39 of you. And so 39 in first year, 39 in second year, and then the PhD students and every bit. Is there anybody else also, or is it just this?
It's just masters and PhD.
Is this master's and PhD? Okay. So it's a fairly large campus and it's just these many people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, so there's a lot of like there's a swimming pool here. There's a gym here, and also, it's like everyone can use anything and anyone. There's no lines, there's no crowd for anything. Like, there's no, like, the concept of a crowd is not really there.
Not there.
You
Not
always have spaces to go around. Yeah. It's a pretty good campus as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, the campus is really nice. I've been there. So, so it's just eco kids. Like, did you ever wish that you had more diversity in terms of the crowd, or is it like very stimulating to have people pursuing economics and different things in economics? So, like, there's a lot of you kind of ending up having a lot of different kind of interests within the economic sphere itself.
So, like in PhD, like they offer different types of PhD. Like, there is a economics PhD, but there is also a PhD in development studies. Like, there's
Yeah.
certain types of other PhD. So it is not that every student is pursuing their PhD in pure economics.
Okay.
So there is a very, but the diversity is, I would say there's a lot of diversity in terms of types of students. So, for example, even we have a library here. That's also got only books on economics. So it is a very economics research based kind of institute in
Correct.
that way. So you definitely won't find that kind of diversity here, but there are people doing interesting research inside economics. So if you're interested in going to the subfields, then yeah, there's a lot of diversity. But if you mean a subfield like diversity in terms of outside economics, yeah, then there's not really a lot.
There's not a lot of that. Okay, understood, understood. Okay, so in terms of general life, we get an idea of what it is. It's a small, very, very small knit batch. So so let's say up total, how many students would there be in total
So
in
the
IGIDR?
second year batch has a little more students than the first year batch. So I think total we have around, like, on this campus, the number of people living are around 105, 110. It's everyone.
So 105, 108 students, that's it. And then all the professors and the TAs and everybody for you all. So like
This
I
is
said,
including the TAs. This is including the
oh, this
TAs.
is
Not the
including.
professors. This is including the TAs. Like,
Okay.
other than the professors, it's everyone who's studying here is 110.
Oh, that's it. So very small batch size. So of course, there's every professor knows everybody personally, I'm sure. They know the names, they know what you're doing and how you're doing in classes and everything. Yeah, so that is a huge advantage to have with such a big renowned institute, and still you are being able to have a personal interaction with the teachers.
That definitely helps, like, for sure.
And do you guys have like so once the classes get over, do you get to spend time with the professors on a casual basis, like not formal setting and all? Does that happen?
So we have a lot of, when college started, we had an introductory session. People were meeting the professors and all. Then for like, so for example, right now we have a PhD colloquium going on. So there's like papers are not being presented. So usually in that time we have like an open dinner, right? So that's usually when a lot of teachers and students interact. But the open dinner is open to everyone. Like, it'll be in a huge open space. And I mean, in general, you meet professors. Like, for example, if I go to the gym in the evening, maybe one of my professors will be at the gym as well. Then there's a swimming pool here. Probably if you go at 7 o'clock, you find one of the professors there. So on a casual setting, you meet your professors pretty regular. That's just
Ah,
something that happens when you live so nearby.
wow. Oh, that's a dream for someone in DSC to interact with professors so much. Anyways, so okay, so IGIDR, another question that people always want to know are placements. So I know placements are they vary a lot depending on the year, depending on right. Last year, if as far as I know, not a lot. Colleges didn't have very good placements. So what about IGIDR?
Yeah, I mean, IGIDR has pretty regular. So I'm part of the placement committee, so I can give
Okay.
a better answer to this. So I mean, IGIDR has a pretty solid list of recruiters, and because it's a small batch size, it's not like it's not like a like you. We just try to keep it as many. We try to get as many companies as possible, and just see how it goes from there. And we have a regular list of recruiters that come every year. So in that way, yeah, it's happening. And so even last year we did pretty decent only.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone got placed.
Everybody got placed. And what was like the
Yeah,
mean
everyone
or
got
the
placed.
median kind of salaries that you
Um,
guys touched?
yeah, so I think we go like 3 million was at least 17, 18. 17 was around
Well,
million.
that's pretty good for the year that it
Yeah.
was. It's pretty good. That sounds very good. And do you think you guys have an advantage being in Mumbai, the only institute being in Mumbai, the next being GIP in Pune, but nothing else
Uh,
in Bombay to compete with at least MA Economics?
I mean, like in some ways, the advantage it gives you is that when we have say our internship season,
Hmm.
it is easier to convince because students can just stay here and travel.
Correct,
So
correct.
like for example, if you're interning at like city,
Huh.
like city, then it's not really that far. And even like people who are interning at RPI, they go from here only. So it works out in your favor. But like other than that, like I mean, I don't think the location offers that much of an advantage. I think BSc also gets the same group of recruiters as us.
Okay. And what about the connection with RBI? So a lot of people, want to know about that. That how does that happen? How many people is the RDI internship offered to? And does it lead to any long term any job offers at RBI later, or is it kind of limited to the internship at that time?
Okay, so RBI offers 5 students from the batch an internship, and they offer it usually around midway through the semester. So it's not a part of the internship drive that happens. It's RBI just offers it separately, and it's done on the basis of your entrance.
The top five students get the internship, right? This is from the entrance, correct?
Yes, it's from the entrance.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's a 2 month internship, and it's in a department of RBI only. RBI does not offer you job based on your internship, so it's just an internship. But I mean, it is a pretty interesting internship in the way that you get to work on some actual data, some actual
Hmm.
research work. So that way, yeah.
Yeah,
And
plus you
also
can
it
make some connections also there, right? You can
you make some connections, and then if your aim is to enter corporate, then you can try to leverage that internship. It's interesting internship to have.
okay, correct. All right. All right. So that's a lot. And also about PhD opportunities. So I know our IGIDR itself has a great PhD program. But besides that, if somebody is looking to go abroad for a PhD, then do you see a lot of students taking that up, and do you see a lot of students going to good places after IGIDR?
So most people here are very like most of the master's batch in general is pretty corporate focused, and this is when more majority of the students want to enter the corporate world. But there are obviously around every batch has a few students who want to enter what do you call who want to enter the PhD space. So if they want to do it in India, then mostly they just continue in IGIDR. Because IGIDR is an option of converting your master's into a PhD. That way you
Okay,
don't have to do the coursework again. So that is a pretty easy way to fast track your PhD. So
that is.
a lot of the PhDs here are just people who've done their masters and now they've moved on to doing their PhD here. As for if you if you want to go to some other institute, then I mean, in terms of LORs, it really helps here because you already know the professor so well,
Mhm.
so you're bound to get better letters, you know, just better connections with the professors in general. And also, we have a lot of like a lot of research opportunities that come during masters. Like a lot of students choose to do research under IGIDR professors only.
Correct,
So
correct.
that way, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good place if you want to do a PhD.
Okay. So that pretty much sorts everything. Placements are sorted, PhD, anybody wants to do good interaction with the faculty, a very good campus life. So probably all the ticks are there in IGIDR and in a place like Mumbai.